Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that this
do one about being 35.
I like that we're pro man on the podcast. There's not enough pro men vibe in the world.
There's not enough good content.
I had to be careful. I'm trying to be super pro woman right now because I've turned my audience into incels because women are so hateable, man. And I've spent way too much time. I've spent way too much. Especially if you're like dating or married to I would say my wife is pretty attractive. Being around attractive women will make.
That's because you've never seen her without makeup.
I love you, but being around attractive women will make you hate women more than any other thing in your life. Like listening to her and her friend. She had a friend over the other day, and she was talking about like, there's a lot of concerts that happen down here in Miami, blah blah blah. And she's like, oh yeah, I know, but like I never think ahead of time, like get tickets or whatever. She's like, oh, what do you mean? It's like, well, you like buying tickets or whatever. She's like, oh no, like look at this. And she goes through this whole thing about how like anytime there's a concert she wants to go to, she changes her Tinder profile to be like, oh, anybody going to XYZ and want to take me? And she always gets like free things to concerts, always has guys' houses she could sleep over for. I remember her and Melina went out to go to dinner once, and she's like, wow, this place is like $100 a person, isn't it? She's like, yeah. And she's like, hold on, give me a second, let me find some guys to like take us or whatever. And she's like, what the fuck are you guys? Jesus Christ. Yeah.
What a life. Can you imagine that?
I'm glad that's the avenue. Like that? I knew that's the avenue you were going to take for why, being around hot women makes you hate women, because it's the same feeling that people get around not being around, but observing the 1%, like seeing people who have privilege that they don't have for no good reason. And they're, it's like, hey, I would like those privileges. I don't know, make $100 million then. Hey, I'd like those privileges too. Grow some titties.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say that it's so funny because it's like I lived like either the stereotype or the reverse stereotype, depending on how you see it. When I was like doing carpet cleaning, working class, losing my house, my life sucked. I was very conservative, very libertarian. Like I'm just going to keep working and working. I can pull myself. I can do anything. I got to work. And then when I would say I'm relatively wealthy, upper middle class, whatever. Now I'm like, damn, life is bullshit for working class people. Like I can speed around. I haven't registered my car in 4 years because I don't give a fuck. If I get caught with anything, I just pay my way out of it. I just do whatever the fuck. Like I'm driving around Nebraska plates still in fucking Miami. Like I don't give a fuck about anything. I can either buy my way out of anything or pay somebody to do something for me for anything. And it's like you live a totally different world. It's a totally different lived experience.
Like the little little fines that are meant to keep the lower class in line. Like those are just the price of admission.
Basically, yeah.
And we're not talking about actually being wealthy. We're talking about like, okay, look at it the other day. What the average rent, like the mean rent in the United States, is $2,000 a month right now. To qualify, you need to make 3 times that per month. So you need to make $72,000 per year. The average income is around 50. Okay, so something there doesn't add up. So we're not talking about an absurd amount of money to get out of like the little speed
rat
bump.
Race.
If you're making $170,000 a year, which isn't like bonkers. Oh my God, your family doesn't have to work any more money. It's like, hey, he's the manager over there, huh? Kind of money. Yeah, you don't really care about registering your play. Oh,
if you make If you make $170,000 a year and then you get a $250 fine, the thought is like, the fuck? I have to use. Do I even have a stamp? Like I have to write a check and mail it. My time is valuable, Like it's not, oh my God, $250. It's like,
the if you get a notice about like owing on your taxes, it's like, those fucking bastards. It's not like, oh, my home, my life. Like,
I got a good example. That doctor's appointment I went to the other day. I self-pay, and I needed to get a new updated physical exam for my my TRT stuff. I'm getting new blood work done, and I also need a new physical to go along with it. And it's just a sports physical. It's that checklist you guys got for sports growing up. No hernias and blood pressure, ears and eyes. That's
always
literally
insist on a prostate check.
Nah, this woman had fat fingers, and
don't threaten me with a good time.
I only go to fat-fingered male doctors.
Dr.
You know that guy in Milwaukee who won the arm wrestling competition? Just that guy. That guy good. He's like, I think you're clean, and I'm like, keep checking. He's like, I don't think you need this 4 times a week. I can actually see in there. It's fine.
You're clean.
It's like a bay window now.
Like a porthole. No, it's like $120 to like show up, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds fine. I was also getting a prescription done, but then like I got home and I got an email that said, okay, you paid the $120. And keep in mind, I stopped by a cashier on my way out, and they're like, oh, you're good to go. They charged me another $226 for like what they called a physical. It was some sort of, they called it something fancy. I don't remember what they call it, but I'm like, I call up and I'm like, hey. Well, first of all, let me just say, $226 extra didn't ruin my day. But I can imagine, like, what if I didn't have $226 fucking dollars and they just threw that on there unexpectedly? That could ruin someone's whole. If I had children to feed, or if I like gasoline's almost $5 a gallon here, like Jesus Christ, that would really ruin someone's fucking week or month. That could throw someone into an absolute like crying on the floor. What am I gonna do? Kind of situation.
For sure, like you'd be fucking destitute. Like for some people, if that happens.
Did you see that thing the other day where the lady cried at her doctor's appointment and then the doctor charged her like $60 for some sort of like emotional well-being check?
Oh, I saw that. I'm willing to bet that for those because I know that sometimes people get a little crazy online. Not to be a buzzkill, but there must have been something different, like either a specialist that comes in or some sort of. It can't literally just be the doctor listening to you cry. There has to be something else. I would imagine.
Maybe she was really bitching his ear off.
I'll say this: if your doctor likes you, they won't check boxes that see what. In my case, I didn't see the doctor I normally see. I saw his daughter, and I think that she didn't have a personal relationship with me, which is why she charged me for that $226 extra. Not yet. But her father is always like the opposite. He's like, oh, well, that shit nothing. Well, she'll charge me like the minimum, the $50 or whatever to show up. Like that's his bag. He's already got his retirement. He's 70-something years old, just in there for the lulls. She's grinding away, trying to squeeze some extra money out of me into that clinic.
You know who has their retirement? The orthopedic surgeon, the Woodworth C.
Oh, you're goddamn right.
We were putting his kids through college at this point.
I mean, your insurance
Those guys make so much money.
Yeah, it seems like me too.
Oh, goddamn.
Imagine any surgeon's probably doing decently if you're.
I'm sure. I didn't know how well dermatologists did until I looked that up.
Like, as far as hardest one to get into.
I didn't know it was so hard, but as far as specialties go, like dermatologists make a shitload. And it's like, as far as the actual procedures they're doing, not nearly as invasive as most shit. So that would, but also you have to like, probably a lot
of medical school. It's so you have to go
mostly
to the full,
just skin deep.
Yeah, it's not like being a dentist.
I don't know. I don't understand why. I'm not saying it's wrong that it is, but like, why is dermatology so tough? It seems like it's right there with like, what's foot doctor? Podiatrist? Podiatrist. Yeah, thank you. Like.
Wait, why do we think it's tough?
I read it. Oh. It's on the internet, Destiny. Don't question it. It's definitely true.
Is it like a really high volume service? Because like everybody at some point in their life is going to get a skin issue, right?
I think it's probably because it's so varied, right? There's a big variety of things that a dermatologist would do. Everything from an oncologist who's looking for different kinds of skin cancer, like I think that I had on my eye or whatever. And then you've got some guy who's just trying to make girls pretty. And then you've got plastic surgeons who are giving people facelifts. They're probably dermatologists too, right? If they're doing that sort of thing.
No, plastic surgeons are just surgeons.
They're just surgeons. Yeah. Okay.
No, plastic surgeons is one of the toughest as well. Although this website I'm looking at doesn't.
I just say,
but they're not dermatologists.
Yeah, I guess it's dumb of me to like equate someone who operates on skin with someone who specializes in skin. I guess that's
Well, I wasn't going to draw attention to it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for not calling me out there. You really embarrassed me there.
The formatting sucks, but that's an ordered list of the most competitive medical specialties. Number 1, plastic surgery. Number 2, dermatology. Number 3, neurosurgery. What? Number 4, ENT, ortho, interventional radiology, radiation, oncology, vascular surgery, general surgeon, med peds. So
my guess is going to be that these probably aren't ranked from hardest to easiest. It probably is a big supply demand thing. So like, I bet that like in terms of surgeons, plastic surgery is probably a massively in demand thing. It's like the amount of procedures and everything expands and people want these types of doctors. That's probably, and then dermatology also, because like dermatologists, they probably get a lot of like customers over and over again because like skin conditions come and go and everything. Yeah. And then like everybody, like tons of people can see a dermatologist for hair problems, for eczema, for all sorts of shit. That'd be my guess.
And a lot of like, I mean, it's the same way, like you can use it to, so a lot of the way these doctors make revenue is by turn. So like the number of people they can see on a given day. So like a plastic surgeon isn't going to be able to see a total of people as high as a dentist. I know a dentist isn't the same doctor, but like a dentist makes money by getting as many people in and out a day as possible. A dermatologist, because their procedures are so quick, I imagine they operate on like a volume thing as well, where they're trying to get, a shit ton of small procedures in that each kind of rake in a decent amount. But
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.